Welcome to solverfy.
All right, so I see that you need help with these two questions. You had said that I need answers to this worksheet from easyteacherworksheets website since the answer key is not showing accurate answers. So regression analysis worksheet 1. The table shows the amount of soft drinks that is given to the competitors every 2 hours following a 12 ml. It seems that the rate of decrease of the drinks is approximately proportional to the amount remaining. Okay, so then it says use the information to find a suitable function to model this data. Using your model, when will there be less than 1 ml of the drink given to the competitors? So first of all, in order to find, I'm going to do a regression equation, so I'm going to, and I know that I'm using Excel, I'm using it as a calculator. If you do not have Excel, no worries. You can follow along with a scientific calculator if that's all that you have, and graph paper. I will explain the process as I go. So first thing you're going to do is find the average of your X value, and then you find the average of your Y value. Then you have to find your difference between each one of these X values, that's your time, okay, and your mean of X, which is 4. And so I'm just going to drag this down because it will find the difference for each one of these values. Then you're going to take each one of your Y values, so example 12, and you're going to subtract your mean of Y. So I'm just going to do 7.522. I'll just go out 3 decimal places. And then I'm going to drag this down. It'll do the rest. It will find the difference between the rest of these and my mean of Y. Then I'm going to multiply X minus the mean of X times Y minus the mean of Y. And so I'm going to multiply this times this, this times this, this times this, so on and so forth. Then I'm going to total this column. This column is known as, the total is known as the sum of products. Then I am going to square each one of my X minus the mean of X value. And so then I'm going to total this column. It's known as the sum of the squares of X. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to square each one of my Y minus the mean of Y value. Oops. Okay. And I'm going to drag this down, total up that column. And then to get my slope, I'm going to take the sum of my products and divide it by the sum of the squares of X. And so my slope is negative 1.093 repeating. My y-intercept, what you're going to do is you take your mean of y and you subtract your mean of x times your slope. And so my linear regression equation is y equals, and I'll just round it to 2 decimal places. Actually, I'll round it to 3 decimal places. Negative 1.093 x plus 11.896. Okay, so that's your linear regression equation. So it says use this information, so I found a suitable function, so that's my number 1. Number 2, use your model. When will there be less than 1 ml of the drink given to the competitors? So less than 1. So first of all, if I use my linear regression equation, I would have to do 1 minus 11.896. And then I would so I take that number, whatever number that was, and then I would divide it by the negative 1.093. So that would be my formula, okay? Bold. And I'm just going to merge that. So I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to put an equal sign in front of that. And so then that equals this answer here, okay? Then, so it will be 1 ml at 9.9, so almost 10, so 9.9, 5, I will say 9.96 hours. So at about 10 hours, it will be less than 1 ml. Okay, because say I did equals negative 1.093 times 10, oops, negative, and then that, and then add 11.896. So at 10 hours, it will be 0.966 ml. Okay. Then let's see. The next one says, using your model, when will there be less than 2 mLs drink given to the competitors? So say I did this, and I do 2. Okay. I'm just going to drag this over, but I'm going to put an equal sign in front of it. So at 9.04 hours, there will be 2 mLs. So then I believe if I do, say 9.05, if I take this, say I did 9 here. Okay, so at 9 it'll be this. So then if I do 9.05, see, so then less than 2. So let's try 9.06. So at 9.06, there will be less than 2 mLs. Okay. So that answers this first one. Then for the next one, a factory is producing and stockpiling metal sheets to be shipped to an automobile manufacturing plant. The factory ships only when there is a minimum of 950 sheets in the stock at the beginning of the day. The table shows the day X in the number of sheets in stock at the beginning of the day. Write a linear regression equation for this set, rounding the coefficients to 4 decimal places. All right, so I'm going to first find the mean of X, and then I'm going to calculate the mean of Y. Then I'm going to do the difference between each one of my Y value and my mean of Y, which is 3.5. Then I'm going to take each one of the Y values minus the mean of Y, which is 319.3333. And so then I'm going to multiply X minus the mean of X times Y minus the mean of Y. And then I'm going to total that column. Then I'm going to square each one of my X minus the mean of X values. And then I'm going to total that column. And then I'm going to do Y minus the mean of Y, and I'm going to square each one of the values. And then I'm going to total that column. That's known as the sum of the squares of Y. And then for my slope, I'm going to take the sum of the products and divide it by the sum of the squares of x. And then I'm going to go out 4 decimal places. Then for my slope, I'm going to take my mean of my mean of y, and then subtract my mean of x times my slope. And so going out 4 decimal places. So my linear equation is y equals 73.9429 x, and then plus 60.5333. Okay, and so then that's my linear equation. Use this equation to determine the day the sheets will be shipped. So at 950 sheets, we have to figure out. So you would do 950, minus 60.533, and then you would have to take that, whatever answer that is, and then you would divide it by 73.9429. Okay, and so I'm just going to merge and highlight that. Okay, and so I'm just going to drag this over, and I'm going to put an equal sign in front of it. So on the 12th day, there will be 950 sheets. So the factory will ship on that day. All right, so I hope that this video helps you answer these questions. This is a middle school math teacher signing out.